why I needed to test the raw vegan diet for myself. I'm about to get into literally everything right now. As far as like, keep it all authentic, just one take, because I spent many hours of like editing, and I'm not really trying to do that right now. But no, like this is why I had to test the raw vegan diet for myself. I'm just gonna be walking around, but this here is Bali, actually, just so that way everyone knows. Been here for maybe a month now. So man, where do I even begin? I needed to try. I had to try the raw vegan diet for myself for many reasons. Okay, for many reasons because first off, I've been gradually making my way to being raw vegan for a very long time, actually. Like, I've been vegan for the past 9 years, and I've been like high raw vegan for the past 4 years. Hello, good morning. So I've been like high raw vegan for the past 4 years, which is like 75% raw living foods and 25% cooked food, you know? So I'm start all the way from the beginning, okay? Because I know that this could probably help some people. Um, when I first went vegetarian, I felt great because I wasn't eating any meat, you know, and I was eating less egg, I was eating less milk and stuff like that, and things were great. But that was just me simply eating more light, eating more vegetables and stuff like that. Um, then I went from vegetarian to vegan, and I felt even better because I wasn't eating any, meat,
What's up, my
cheese. What's
man?
up? I wasn't eating any meat, any cheese, And then when I went from there, it was like the absence of the meat, the animal products and stuff like that, the dead flesh was making me feel better. And that made me think, damn, okay, this is actually working. Like, me not consuming dead food is actually making me feel really, really good. Just want to show you what it looks like. So, yeah, I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'm subtracting the bad and incorporating the good, and things are looking great. So, good morning. Man, I just got a cocoa. But yeah, so I'm subtracting the bad and increasing the good by little, right? So eventually what happened was I was like, okay, cool. The vegan diet is great. Now let me go even further. And from there I went alkaline vegan, right? Alkaline vegan was great. I did that for I believe like 2 years or something like that, consistently. And that was awesome. That was really, really awesome, guys. Like, I was inspired from Dr. Sebi, and I started doing research on Dr. Sebi. I watched all of his videos, the carbon videos. I literally watched every single video on Dr. Sebi. It's ridiculous. This is so beautiful, by the way. But yeah, that actually initially started my researching journey, right? Because I went from there, learned everything that I needed to know about Dr. Sebi, his philosophy, his approach, and everything. And I was heavily inspired because he spoke from the heart. He spoke about healing like no other person has ever spoke about before. And that really did something to me. And I'm so glad that I had that experience. Hello. Because, yeah, like that helped me get further in my heart. And that was a perfect spark to lead me into this whole lifestyle. So, did that. And then from there, I started to go deep with research. I learned how to research. I learned, how to read case studies. Um, and I read so many case studies, it's ridiculous. And based on, and I really want to be clear with what I say right now because I love Dr. Sebi. I love his contribution to the community. But the alkaline philosophy is impactful only for those who are sick. And I mean sick to the degree of where you have a disease or something like that. It is a great, experience. But for me, it wasn't about, I mean, yeah, I was healing from a couple different things for sure. Not anything. What's up? He got him some work. That was the same guy we just saw a little while ago. But no, like for me, the alkaline diet wasn't, based on the research that I did, it's not something that is meant to be long term. You can do it, healthy people can do it, sick people can do it, anybody can do the alkaline diet. However, the thing about the alkaline diet is that the human body is not meant to be alkaline. As well as when you really, really look at like the alkaline diet, any cooked food actually, you know, is not considered alkaline actually. Like when you cook something, you actually change the molecular structure of the food. So this is just based on the research that I did. And yeah, like I can't sit here and not act like I have not done that research. I can't sit here and act like I have not heard other people talk about this before, you know? And so yeah, like that's what I know to be true, is that is cooking the food is changing the molecular structure of said food. So that blueberry, or let's say that chickpea, it may be alkaline, right? But it's not alkaline when you cook it, you know? And I'm not saying it's the worst thing in the world, but I am saying that it's not as good as what we think it is, um, versus having it raw versus having it cooked. So, and I've noticed the difference because when you first go alkaline, you feel amazing, right? And you think, oh my God, this is it. And that is true, you know? That's a true feeling that people really feel. And that is something to be honored. That is something to be proud of and all of that. But for me, my sensitivity level got so high that I was able to realize, oh, damn, there is so much more to this rather than just eating alkaline and following what Dr. Sebi said and blindly ignoring my feelings and my emotions and my internal thoughts. There's so much more to it. So yeah, like at a certain point I was like, I can't sit here and act like I don't know the research, or that I don't know like these things. And the questions that I had in my head, like, damn, should I be continue to be alkaline? Like, it's so limiting. It's not only so limiting, but like I'm not even really being alkaline. The whole alkaline diet, sure, great, because like I'm eating healthy, but like the food that I'm eating, I'm changing the molecular structure of it. But that's still great. It's not that it's a bad diet. It's just the fact that like it's it's for a specific purpose mostly. So if you are sick and you're dealing with something, the alkaline diet can be a really, really great start, um, and very effective. So I think I probably hit that one on the nail. So I'll tell you this, like when I started to realize like, wow, there's something about being raw, I started to I started to have this epiphany, because it was like when I started to eat, okay, so boom, Dr. Sebi on his retreats, right? He literally will have these people eating fruit for breakfast. So for like half the time of me being alkaline, I was already walking in the direction of being high raw, because for breakfast I would always have fruit. So when I would have fruit, that's like a quarter, you know, of what I would eat in a day fully raw, right? For dinner, I would eat a salad, or fruit. And that right there would just like, that's like high raw, you know, breakfast raw, dinner raw, and then lunch, I would have something cooked. This is Bali, man. This is Bali, y'all. These are rice fields, I believe, that they're going to start out. Yeah, this has got to be rice. This has got to be rice. Some good bananas just everywhere. Oh my God. Coconut trees all over there. Um, but yeah, I was already eating high raw. So as I'm following what these people eat at his like healing centers, you know? Um, so yeah, and then I was like, damn, I feel so good. And then I've realized, oh shit, I'm starting to feel a little bad when I eat cooked food, like when I eat a heavy cooked meal for lunch, you know. And this is no disrespect, I promise y'all, this is no disrespect to the elder. You feel me? Like if he was here right now, brother, I would have a very long conversation with you, and I would really love to pick your brain and see what you think and feel about, you know, everything that I've said so far. um, you know, because yeah, like Dr. Sebi has been incredibly impactful to my experience, incredibly impactful. Um, so yeah, that's that. Now with me being like feeling like that, right, and with me having that feeling of like good when I eat breakfast and good when I eat dinner, I was inspired to eat more raw, or call it high raw, right? So boom, I started to do high raw, and then for me doing high raw, I always had the thought in my head, like, damn, it would be so dope to be like fully raw. So when I went to these places like Ecuador, Mexico, and anywhere else that I went, I always thought to myself, like, damn, it would be so dope if I can just maintain being fully raw, like maintain this flow of energy. And you know, the thing about it, I want you all to really think about is these animals, birds and stuff like that, bro, they do not eat anything cooked. They eat all of their food raw. And they say animals have the highest biophotons. You know, that does not mean go and eat the animals because they have the highest biophotons. What do we do with our animals when we go and get them? We um, we kill them for one. We kill them, right? Losing the life force, and then we have them sit on a shelf for a very long time, and then we go and cook them. You know, and then not even to mention all the chemicals and everything else in between when it comes to that, and also just everything else. I'm not even gonna get into it. This isn't about that. But yeah, bottom line, like biophotons are really, really important, and you get your biophotons from living food, from food that is alive. You know, this greenery, right? The photosynthesis, that connection, that condensed sunlight, right? Condensed sunlight into something edible for us, fruit, vegetation, right, is really what we should be eating because that contains living energy, that contains biophotons, you know? And that's just what I think. And I noticed the feeling when I would eat breakfast raw and dinner raw. So, I mean, simple math just says try to make the transition to being fully raw so that way I can make this like sustainable. You know, and that's ultimately what I want to do, is to make sure, it's just see like if this is sustainable. If I can make this sustainable, that will be really, really amazing. And if I can't, then I can't, you know. However, I will say this though, I do think to myself and say like, well, if I'm in a family's house and you know they, like for example, if I go to one of these Balinese people's houses and they take me in, I'm just traveling, I don't need a place to stay for like a night, right? Be someone pretty cool, things just happen, and they offer me like a plate of like meat and stuff, and on the side there's like a little bit of beans and rice that's cooked, I'm for sure gonna say no to the meat, but I'll eat the beans and rice just to show a bit of appreciation, you know, so that way I'm not like entirely disrespecting them, you know, or they don't take it as disrespect. So yeah, like I think that's okay, you know. So I don't think I will be raw like consistently for years. However, I do believe that I have the power to be fully raw for long periods of time. Um, you know, so yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm feeling. Um, yeah, I mean, the longest that I've been raw was like not really me intentionally being raw because it was a juice fast, but, and then also too, another thing is I've seen people who say they're raw and they really aren't raw, you know? So like, I truly just want to see if this is sustainable and if this is just possible for me, you know? Not based on what someone else says, not based on what I read, you know, I want to know for me, you know? And if it is true and if it is possible, uh, then cool, I'll keep going. Um, but if not, then high raw it is, you know? I've been doing high raw already for like the past 4 years. So, beautiful coconuts. Balinese people are really, really creative. Like, a man created this design. Tororio Field. So yeah, that's how I'm feeling. There's a car coming. 1 second. But yeah, this is why I have to try the raw vegan diet. This is why. I want to know ultimately for myself, and based on the feelings that I've felt and my own experience being high raw, it only leads towards me being fully raw. So yeah. And also too, the times when I have tried to be raw, I've always felt really, really amazing. Oh my God, like really, really amazing, very, very aligned and very just connected to myself, right? To God, the universe, whatever you guys want to call it, the creator. And it's just been really amazing. Even I've even had ideas come to me as I'm like fully raw, you know, or on juice fast. So yeah, I hope this makes sense. But I'm curious, like, what are you guys' thoughts on like being fully raw? Like, do you guys think it's even sustainable? What's your experience with being fully raw? Um, yeah, there's this question that this guy asked me, like, why do you want to be fully raw? And I hope like I answer that in this video. But yeah, it's like, you know, angstroms of energy is important. Biophotons are important, you know. Um, we are a live living body and we should eat live living food, you know. Um, but I want to ultimately know for myself, not based on what I read and what I hear. I want to know for myself through experience that this is possible. And this isn't about me forcing it to be true at all either. Like if I have a bad experience and I think it's really, really not going to work out, I'm going to tell you guys. Like I'm really going to document my entire experience being fully raw, the good and the bad and everything in between. So yeah, but this here is all that I'm going to post for now because uh, yeah, I have other things I got to do today. And also right now I'm going to go on this like 5 day juice fast. So it's going to be only juice and tea and water and also fruits. Well, I'll eat fruits as well. But because I just got done with this like training, which I'm going to talk to you guys all about in a moment or in another video. And training was divine. It was amazing. And you see, the fun fact is I was already raw for 2 days before me even making the decision to doing that. You know, so that's what I'm talking about. Like when I'm raw, I just get very aligned in a way that is just dope, you know? So yeah, I believe that is it. Like the video, comment, subscribe, stay tuned guys, because I'm literally documenting my entire experience, not only here in Bali, but also throughout my raw vegan journey. So yeah, peace.